It is October, which is my favorite time of the year. I love all things spooky and Halloween. So today I'm going to share with you a list of cozy games that are perfect for those times where you want to get a little spooky. A lot of these games are all about magic and mystery. I will include a couple of horror games at the end of this list that I consider cozy. I am a lover of horror games. Without further ado, let's get into the video. The first game on my list is one that I've been playing recently and have completely fallen in love with, and that game is called Strange Antiquities. This is the spiritual successor to Strange Horticultures, so if you have played the game and loved it, you're absolutely gonna love this one. The mechanics are quite similar, but they've been completely improved and applied to a different scenario. In this game, you are taking over the Antiquities shop at Undermere. Your job is to tend to the customers' needs, but this customer have very strange needs. Your shop is filled with strange little trinkets and artifacts, and each of them has a different magical purpose. So it is your job to figure out what they do and who to give it to. I was completely hooked. It's one of those games that really keeps you wanting more. It's really hard to have a short gaming session. I would categorize this as a puzzle story game. It's not spooky in the way that is horror, but more so in a dark academia kind of way. It really makes you feel like you're in like a dark academia library and you're going through your books, figuring out clues for your artifacts. And when you get them right, it's just so satisfying. Not only are you getting to know your customers better, there are also some main characters unfolding a whole story of a mystery that's happening in Undermere before your eyes and that you're helping solve as well. So as you get through each of the days of the week, you're actually discovering more parts of the story, which I think is very interesting. You're also able to go on little adventures and solve riddles in order to get more artifacts. I love this game. I can't recommend it enough. If you're into dark academia, if you like puzzles, if you like strange trinkets and magic, I think this is gonna be the game for you. Next on my list is a game called Sopa. This game came out recently and I'm so happy because it's perfect for the spookier time of the year. First of all, I really want to support this game because it was made by a Latinx developer, which I love to see as a Latinx person. And what better time to play a game about soup than fall? You know what I'm saying? I feel like fall is soup season. In this game, you play as Mijo, who is making soup with his grandma, but after she sends him to the pantry to get the perfect potato for the soup, he actually falls into a spiritual world. You get to meet quirky characters, venture through the depths of South America, and learn the importance of the things we pass along. This game is a story-based adventure game. I think it's perfect for this time of the year because it's just the right amount of cookie, crazy, spiritual, magical, while at the same time being silly and wholesome and having a really, really beautiful message. This game kind of feels to me like one of those magical Halloween movies like Halloween Town or Hocus Pocus kind of way, where like you're a kid and all of a sudden you're in this magical adventure and you have to solve it in order to get back to your world. There's something about it that feels very beautiful and perfect for this time of the year and just the right amount of spooky without really being scary. Next on my list is a game that I've been wanting to talk about for a long time, and that is Lost Records. This game is set in the summer, but I think it's perfect to play around this time of the year because of the subjects of the game. This game was made by the same people that made Life is Strange. If you know that game, you kind of know the vibes. I think this game is really interesting because it really incorporates story and narrative alongside of music and just incredible visuals. In this game, you are filming your summer of 1995 and create memories of a lifetime with your new friends. 27 years later, you confront the dark secrets that made you all promise to never speak again after that fateful summer. It's giving a little bit I Know What You Did Last Summer, but it's definitely not that scary. It's all about coming of age, it's about friendship, and it's about being older and looking back at your childhood and making peace with those things, which isn't healing just the scariest thing of all. Scratch that. As you're moving through the timelines, you don't really know what you're gonna discover at the end. So you are both dealing with the pre-event and also the aftermath of event without really knowing exactly what the event was. And so you get to put those pieces together in a very beautiful, magical, spooky, but not scary way. I feel like this game would be perfect for this time of the year. Next is a little bit of a sillier one, but I think would be perfect to play with your friends around this time of the year as well, and that is Goblin Cleanup. If you're a big fan of any type of cleaning and organizing games, I think you're really gonna love this one. If you love Power Wash Simulator, you're gonna love this one. This is a co-op cleaning game where you have to clean and rearrange a dungeon before the next adventurers come to complete it again. I think it's really interesting because in some ways it like breaks the fourth wall of these kind of like Dungeons and Dragons or dungeon crawler game where like instead of playing as the main character who goes through the dungeons, you play as the guy who cleans up the dungeon. I think that's such a funny concept. I really love that you play as a goblin and you can actually customize your appearance a little bit, and those goblins are thick. If you're someone who doesn't have plans for Halloween, I think having a spooky-ish, silly co-op gaming session with a friend is truly just such a good plan. There's also a little twist to like the regular cleaning mechanics because those dungeons are actually quite dangerous, so you have to really be careful with how you handle things. And I really, really love the environment design as well. You can tell they put a lot of love into all of these dungeons. They're all magical and spooky and dark, and it's just perfect for this time of the year. On a more chill note, I also wanted to point out that there is a Hidden Cats game that is Halloween themed. If you don't know what Hidden Cats game are, these are free games that you can play on Steam that are basically hidden picture games. I find these games extremely satisfying. You have a really big picture and you have to find all of the cats in the picture. Very easy brain off kind of game, and they have a Halloween themed one. If you're looking for something that is kind of Halloweeny but not really scary, I think this is a really fun thing to do for Halloween. Speaking of free games, I do want to get into one of the horror games that I wanted to talk about on my list, and that is Pumpkin Panic. I played this game recently and it's scarier than I thought it would be. This is a farming sim with a twist. You play as this pumpkin guy who randomly finds themselves in this farm. However, this farm happens to be infested by monsters. You have to find a way to farm, make it through the days, and escape the farm before the monsters get you. I will say I loved this game. I find it fun and cozy and kind of silly more than spooky, but this one's not for the faint of heart, I will say. I really enjoyed the mechanics. There's kind of like a daily cycle that you go through in the game. The more you play it, the better you get. It has like that kind of rogue like energy to it. It's really cool also because there are about a handful of different creatures that you get to interact in the game, and the more you play it, the more you kind of get the tricks of the trade kind of vibe. Again, this game is not for the faint of heart. If you don't like spooky games, I wouldn't recommend this to you because it is quite spooky, so bear that in mind. Next on my list is the scariest thing of all, back pain. Those who know me know that I've been dealing with a back injury, and one of my biggest problems is finding ways to get comfortable, especially when I'm laying down. And that's where FLEXISPOT comes in. I love FLEXISPOT. I have become a friend of the channel at this point. I have so many of their wonderful, wonderful, good quality furniture in my room. Truly have made a difference in my life. So thank you, FLEXISPOT, for sponsoring this part of the video. They came in and wanted to give me one of their electrical beds, which never in a million years did I dream I would ever have an electrical bed. So I was like, yes, absolutely. What I really love about this electrical bed is a couple things. The first one is quite affordable for an electric bed. Electrical beds are usually very, very expensive. This one is actually quite affordable, which we love to see it. The second part is that it's actually aesthetically pleasing. Sometimes electrical beds can be either very plain or kind of scary looking. So when it comes to decor, I really always try to find a balance between aesthetic and function. And I really love when you don't have to make a concession between the two, and FLEXISPOT is very good at that. It's quite easy to set up, though I will say you will need another person to help you set it up just to make the whole thing easier and safer. It is quite a heavy bed because of all of the electrical parts and metals of it. I love how it looks and I love the function of it. It comes with a little controller and it's very easy to use. You have 2 buttons, up or down. Pretty self-explanatory. And I feel like this is something that is a very big upgrade, not only for people who might have back problems and stuff like that, but also if you like to game from bed while gaming in handheld console. I feel like being able to put it up in that way, it's so Nice. I will link everything down below for you. If this is something that you're interested in, I do have a discount code for you as well. This feels very grandma core and luxurious, and I love it. Now, speaking of spooky games, I cannot go without mentioning Little Nightmares 3. This is the game that I'm going to be playing during October with my best friend, live on Twitch and on YouTube. If you're watching this video, I probably already started playing it, and I'm probably loving it, I'm not gonna lie. Little Nightmares are some of my absolute favorite games of all time, and I find them quite cozy. However, I will say they are quite spooky. So this is the third one, and it just came out, and I'm so stoked. In this saga of games, you usually play as a little kid who is going through different levels, and you have to figure out your way out. These games are really interesting because they have a really strong following online that have so many different takes on what the story means. It's one of those games that is really open to interpretation, which is one of my favorite things about it. This is the third installment of the game. And this one you play as two kids, actually, similar to Little Nightmares 2. However, in this one you can play co-op, which is a big selling point for me. You were promised to go back to the world of Little Nightmares, but you are able to do it with a friend. So I'm really excited for it. You play as Lo and Alone, who are two best friends in search of a way out of the nowhere. However, if you want to play this game and you have no one to play it with, you can also play with the computer. It's not exclusively co-op. Another horror-ish cozy game that just came out is Sweet Carole. Now, this is a game that I am so interested in because it looks like an old Disney film, but the twist is that it is a horror game. This is a narrative horror adventure game completely hand-drawn in the style of classic animated films. You follow the trail of missing Carole Simmons and uncover the dark secrets hidden behind her disappearance. What I really like about this game is that it really mixes that old animation style with spookier themes, and those things coming together feel very magical to me. I don't know. This game is set in the early 20th century England. Young Lana Benton searches for her missing friend, Carole Simmons. Her path leads her through Bunny Hall Orphanage and onto the mysterious kingdom of Corolla. Caught between two worlds, Lana must find a way to survive and uncover the dark truth about Carole's disappearance. If that sounds like something that could be up your alley, I really recommend it. And those are all the games that I wanted to share with you today. However, as you know, I can't go without a couple special mentions. First one I want to talk about is the Power Wash Simulator DLCs. I cannot believe I didn't talk about them in my fall game recommendation list, which if you missed it, it's going to be up here for you. First of all, Power Wash Simulator is my comfort game, and I've been getting through all of the DLCs recently. However, if you don't want to pay for the DLCs, they do have a Halloween map that you can play through every year, which I think is really fun. I really liked it. It's like this witchy themed vibe. It's very cool. However, if you do want to play for the DLCs, I really recommend the Alice in Wonderland DLC. It feels perfectly magical and whimsical and perfect for this time of the year. The other special mention is actually a game that hasn't come out yet, but I really wanted to talk about it. And that game is called Gumball in Trick or Treat Land. This game looks so amazing, and there's actually a demo out right now if you want to give it a try. This is a nostalgic JRPG love letter to the Game Boy Color. Gumball in Trick or Treat Land is a lighthearted adventure with challenging turn-based combat. You explore a mysterious world, take on tough opponents, and save the day in a game designed to charm all ages. And I think that's just so charming. I wish it was out already. We still don't have a release date, but I will keep you guys updated on that. I really hope it's out by the time I make my spooky list in 2026, but we'll see. If you like this kinds of videos, I have quite a few that I've made throughout the years with different games, so I'm gonna link them up here and down below as well. And those are all the games that I wanted to share with you today. Please tell me in the comments what games you are playing, what games did I miss. I love hearing what you guys are up to. Also, I was looking at my statistics today, and I found that about 90% of the people that watch my channel are not subscribed. I totally get it. Sometimes I'll be watching a channel that I get recommended over and over, and I feel like I'm subscribed, but then I look down at the little button and I'm not. So take a little second right now to check if you're subscribed to my channel. That's like the biggest way that you can support me. The world is a little crazy right now, so please remember to take care of yourself. Have some rest, have some water, and I will see you in the next video.